To watch hundreds of Trump supporters converge on and then breach the U.S. Capitol building Wednesday was to witness an extraordinary moment in American history. And to watch a crowd of predominantly white Trump supporters scale walls, break windows, crash the Senate chamber, and in at least one case take a selfie with a member of law enforcement was also a lesson in contrasts. Specifically, the overall difference between how law enforcement responded to this crowd
Turn and walk! Move!
compared to how law enforcement has responded in the past over the last year to protesters who took to the streets following one high-profile police-related shooting or death after another.
What if they were black? What if they were Muslim? What would it look like? How much blood would we be cleaning up? And how many people would say they deserved it because they shouldn't have been there?
New York City public advocate Jumaane Williams spent many nights marching in protests organized by Black Lives Matter and other police reform organizations. Protests where police often took a more aggressive approach to clearing the streets, let alone the U.S. Capitol building.
A few months ago, the president had tear gas and bullets for people who were non-violently just protesting so that he can take a picture by a church.
There should have been a multitude of arrests, and I question the actions of the Capitol Police. Did they stand by and allow our Capitol to be taken over by rioters?
Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, a mayoral candidate and former 22-year NYPD veteran who retired as a captain, says he saw something else, questionable loyalties.
I believe we need a congressional investigation to determine did we have active participation from the Capitol Police and the rioters that performed this really dangerous action that took place.
Adams is calling for a congressional investigation. We also thought it was absolutely appropriate and necessary to raise these questions with members of law enforcement. The PBA, the NYPD's largest union, did not get back to us, but Ed Mullins, president of the Sergeants Benevolence Association, did get back to us. He denounced the violence today in Washington, and he called that group of Trump supporters an angry, violent mob. And he also went on to say, quote, "Today's activities can be contrasted by the fact that there were no fires started, no looting of innocent businesses, no destruction of private property, and no city was seized. Only government property was destroyed." We should reiterate, as you mentioned, Corey, one female Trump supporter was shot and killed inside the U.S. Capitol building. We're live in Union Square tonight. Jay Dow, Pix 11.